Hey, cutie pies, I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the General Hospital edition on April the 6th, 2022. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, I do have work from home videos on the channel. They usually drop every Monday and every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time. All right, so this is What Happened on the Soaps General Hospital edition, and just going right into it. We see that Sonny goes back to his gym and Spenser is there, but he's not there to talk to Spenser really. Spenser's done with his workout, so he's leaving, and Sonny's like, no, I said what I had to say. And Spenser was like, all right. And so he leaves, and when he leaves, Miss Wu, Selina, comes in and she speaks to Sonny. Now, what she wants from Sonny is his blessing to come in, be able to come into Port Charles. She said, we worked it out, about the docks and everything. Now she wants to gamble, and she's wanting his blessing to come in and be able to do that. That it's not in his area of interest, or anything. But it is his city, so she's just clearing it with him. At first he was like, "What if I said no?" And she was like, You don't want to gamble or anything like that." And he goes ahead and he tells her yes, and he tells her he's going to have some other conditions, but that he tells her yes, and that as long as there's no drugs when there's gambling, no drugs should be sold, passed out, no drugs whatsoever with the gambling. And she says, "Listen, I'm cool with that. I just want to gamble. That's it." And then he lets her know that Brick is taking over in Jason's place. And she said, that's good, because if you've heard what I've heard, there's a family on the West Coast that has been expanding, that has been quietly expanding. And, she's like, they're going to come east sooner or later. And it's better for us to be friends and united when this happens and everything. And she was like, you need to pay attention. He said he had heard about it, but he hadn't paid attention to it. She said, in our line of work, we need to pay attention to this kind of stuff. And he was like, all right, he'll think about it. So they shake on it, their deal, and they're going to work together or whatever. So that takes us to, speaking of the gambling, she propositioned Curtis. So we go to Curtis and Portia's housewarming event. So they're at the housewarming event. Drew comes in and everything, and Stella is there, TJ is there, Trina, Portia, they're all there because it's just small gathering of friends and everything. And I was like, y'all ain't got no friends. Like, it was just family and friends. The only friend that was there was Drew. Like, who else y'all talk to? Like, I know Nina and Curtis are I don't know, but anyways, so they're all TJ and Trina speak, and he just gives her advice, because he said he's been in that position when he was her age, where he was accused of something that he didn't do. And she said she wants to get on TikTok. She wants to just scream to the world, I did not do this. She said, but all the ridicule that comes with that, and everything, she can't. She's trying to deal with it day by day, but it's hard. He just tells her he's there for her. Then Trina goes and talks to Portia, and she says, oh my gosh, why? She's like, I'm trying to enjoy the party, and she's happy about them moving in. She says, but why is it that everyone supports her? Ava supports her. Of course, her parents support her. Cam and Josh support her. So why is her mind focusing on Spenser? And the fact that the way he looked at her when she was in the interrogation room, like he didn't believe her. And Portia just said, baby, listen, when in life you're going to have people that you think would be loyal to you, and they are not. That, as you get older, that's just how life is. And you just look at the people who are there to support you, and you focus, you do your best to try to focus on them and everything. So, it is what it is when it comes to Spenser. He don't believe you, know the type of person he is, and move right along. That's pretty much what all it was with that right there. So then we go to Drew and Curtis, and they talk, and he says, well, how's it going with Marshall? And he says, I haven't been able to, get any more information. I tried to go to Jordan, she wasn't going to unseal the breakers for me. He said, then I tried to go to Sonny, and Drew said, what you doing going to Sonny? He said, I was trying to get these records unsealed, He said, but Sonny wouldn't even do it. And he said, that's a good thing because you don't want, he was like, Sonny cool and all, but you don't be wanting to owe people like that, like like Sonny favors. And especially with you having your business and people really wanting to try to use that, your business location for other things. So then Curtis starts thinking about Miss Wu. This is going to be a mess right here because something's going to go on with him and Miss Wu or whatever as far as business. But he starts thinking about Miss Wu and how she offered to let him to she wants him to let her use the club for her gambling and everything. But Drew was just saying you don't want to be in business with those type of people. So then we go to Marshall shows up at the housewarming party, and they're just like, oh no, wait, before that happens, Portia and Aunt Stella talk. And they're just talking about, Aunt Stella's like, listen, I'm at the age now where if you're happy and this man makes you happy and you make him happy or whatever, go on and live together. And she says, I'm sorry, I was so opposed to it. And then Aunt Stella has a flashback about them divorce papers. Bring it to your memory on Stella because this man is not divorced and you don't got him buying a whole house, a whole home with this woman. But okay. So she was just like, she was like, I just had a memory or something because Aunt Stella's still fuzzy about everything that's done went on. So then they get a knock at the door and it's Marshall. He shows up and they're like, what you doing here? And TJ said, oh, I invited him. First of all, TJ, this is not your home. Don't go inviting people in somebody else's place. But okay. So TJ said, I invited him. And Marshall said, I heard it was a family gathering and all that. You knew you weren't invited. But he come on in. They go on, let him in. And so he talks to Drew. And he tells Drew, I'm sorry I haven't gotten back to you on your proposition about, being doing the jazz for him and everything. And Drew said, what's the holdup? And he said, well, we've had a lot of gigs and I don't want to take that job away from other people. Like if you need to go out and hire somebody. And Drew was like, no, I'm cool. Just let us know whenever you decide. We all know this is a fake job. But he said, whenever you decide, just let us all know and everything. And he was like, okay. So then Drew and Curtis talk. Marshall and Curtis talk. And then when they're talking, they talk about Trina. And it's the same with Drew when he was just like, Curtis is just like he wish she would focus, like her mind is focused on Spenser or whatever, she's young. But Curtis just says that we wanted to go on vacation, but now because of everything going on with Trina, we're not going to be able to go. Like we're going to postpone that to take care of her. And Curtis says, yes, do whatever you have to do for family. And he was like, but what were y'all thinking about going on vacation? Now, mind you, it's a housewarming, so they got the table set up with food and everything. So Marshall really enjoying himself. He talking out loud, so Portia waves high and all that kind of stuff. Ugh. And so he's loading his plate up with those fruit and vegetables they had at the housewarming party. And then Curtis tells him where they got to go. He said we were going to go to what did he say? Buenos Aires. He said something like that, and Marshall got to go like, let me go out here and get some fresh air. Because that's where Marshall went when he was supposed to be in witness protection. He was all over there. So Curtis just did it to get the reaction. And he got what he wanted because Marshall got antsy. And he was like, I got to go outside and get some fresh air. Now, Aunt Stella done walked out here and followed Marshall because something's going on here. Somebody tell me what's going on. I don't know. Something's going on right here. She knows this man isn't what he's supposed to be because he had that bottle of pills. And she said, Curtis could see you with these pills and everything. And he said he thinks he know I've told him that these are my heart medicine. So I'm like, are those not his heart medicine? I mean, we saw whatever Sonny saw on that bottle of pills. Remember when it rolled on the floor when they went to the hospital and because Avery hurt her arm and Sonny she bumped into Marshall and the pill bottle roll. I don't know. I want to figure out what's going on right here. But anyways, he told Stella that he's more family to TJ and Curtis than she is. Like he's the family or whatever. He appreciates all she's done. And I'm like, what does that mean? What is going on here? So then he goes back inside and they portion them like, let's take a family photo because Drew leaves and everybody before anybody else leave. Well, it ain't nobody but family now. Let's take a family photo. And so they're all gathering together, and Stella is walking in from being outside after Marshall had left her out there, and she's walking in and she's like woozy. She's not together. And so they're like, come here. Come on, come on, come on. Stella, what you doing over there? Come on. I'm like, can't anybody see that this woman is sick? Y'all don't see that she's sick. She's like, she doesn't look well. TJ and Portia, come on now. But anyway, so Stella looks at them. Now Marshall, if you look at it, Marshall know he had messed with her. Um, so she starts, you can see it through her eyes, and she gets all woozy, and it looks like she's starting to collapse and everything. I don't know what she and Marshall got going on, but whatever it is, she does not want Curtis to find out. All right, so then we go to who else was on this today? Um, Okay, so then we're gonna go to Spenser. So Spenser has left the gym and he's went back home. Now while he's on his way home, we see that Esme, Nicholas, and Laura are talking, and Laura is just telling Esme once again, do not betray Nicholas' trust, because he has trust in you and he's good, kind hearted, or whatever. So don't betray it. And then Ava comes in and she's like, we'll see about that or whatever. And Nicholas is like, Ava, you're back. I'm like, girl, you act like you ain't see, you didn't try to go get her. I don't know. But so then Ava comes back or whatever, right? And she's just like, yes, Windermere is my home too. And so Laura is like, come on, Esme, let's let Nicholas and Ava talk in private or whatever. And Esme is like, yes, because I'm sure you have things to discuss. Get yourself out the room. I like Esme, but she's starting to work on my nerves these last two episodes. But anyway, so Esme and Laura go out the room, and then Spenser comes in and she says, is that where you were? You were at the gym? That's what you did to get away from me? Now, girl, Hell went to the gym to try to defend you to his Uncle Sonny, to tell Uncle Sonny to stop bothering you or whatever. But anyways, so Laura just tells them, Esme, it doesn't do any good for y'all to fuss at each other. She says, oh, of course you're going to take his side. Girl, that's his grandma. What are you talking about? But anyways, Laura says, I'm not taking anybody's sides. I'm just saying. This is already a stressful situation. Don't y'all fuss at each other. Be kind to each other. So she go to Spenser, try to get a hug, and he was like, Grandma, I'm nasty. Because he's been to the, he's been working out at the gym. So he tells her, I love you though, and she says, I love you. Da, 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 da. So she goes on about her business. So then that leaves Esme and Nick and Spenser together, right? And so they're talking or whatever, and she says, you're in love with she says, now that there's no baby, I might as well leave because you're in love with another woman. So on one hand, she's right. But on another hand, don't tell him you're about to leave and then turn around and say, oh, I'm just going to see if the person who's over my trust fund will be kind enough to give me at least enough money for a plane ticket. Like, don't tell him you want to leave, but I'm broke, so I don't really have nowhere to go. Like, girl, stop it. So then, he tells her, I don't want you to leave or whatever. And she says, well, I don't want to be here and we're not together. Like, she wants them to be a couple and whatnot. And he was like, I'm not there yet. He was like, I'm not there yet, but I don't want you to leave. So they're gonna work on their relationship while she's staying there, and that was them today. So then on the inside, in the living area is Nicholas, and sitting area, I guess, is Nicholas and Ava. And Ava, like, he was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you came back and you see it. And she was like, no, no, oh, kind-hearted Nicholas, I'm not back. There you go, misjudging this whole thing, reading it wrong. I'm back because this is my home too, and nobody's finna run. Esme is not gonna run me out of my home. So she tells him, what's gonna happen is, since you want Esme here, and thank God she's not pregnant, because she did find out she wasn't pregnant. She said, but since you want Esme here, I'm gonna go. We're gonna sleep in separate bed. Like, we won't be sharing a bed or whatever. And he was like, I thought you said you were coming back, and now you're saying you're leaving. And she's like, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving, but there's many guest rooms, there's many different guest homes and stuff on the property, I guess, and I'm gonna take one of them. And he said, she was like, he was just told her, you put Sonny on her, so I have to protect Esme. We both know what he's capable of. Have you forgotten what he's capable of? And she was like, have you forgotten what I'm capable of, what you're capable of? And like, she just told him, listen, this girl got your head bit. Like, what are you doing being this naive over this girl? And he was like, oh, so now I'm just all naive and all that. And you got to protect me from myself. Like my mama, like you told my mama you would do or whatever. Yes, Nicholas, yes, because when it comes to Esme, why are you being this gullible? But she told him, no, you're gonna be sleeping alone a few nights while she's in under this roof. Sleep by yourself, and that's how it was with them. Like they gonna do this little power struggle that they do, but they are a cute little couple, so I don't mind. So then we go to who else was on this other day? Like they show so many people. And then we go to so Laura has to meet Kevin because she had invited Spenser and Esme, but Spenser said, no, me and Esme need to talk. So she was like, all right, be nice to each other. And so she goes to meet Kevin, and because they're supposed to have lunch together. And while she's there, Victor is there. Victor is speaking to Johan because Victor got something up his sleeve about this framing someone else for everything that he has been doing because he knows they're after him or whatever. So he was like, I gotta go out of town, but I'm gonna be back because somebody else gonna take the fall. And Johan is just like, all right, but watch your steps and everything because they've been really watching us. Okay, so then he sees Laura and Victor's like, all right, I'm gonna be good. And so he goes up to Laura, and so then they talk, and they're talking about she's mad at him because she said, you told Spenser that you would take care of Esme or whatever. He was like, we both know that boy doesn't need a baby. He said, thank God she's not pregnant because she told him she's not pregnant or anything. And he said, thank God because neither one of them need to ruin their lives by having a baby. And he definitely does not need to be tied down to Esme for 18 years. And she said, you might be right on that, but the way you go about it and you in all that crookery and all this kind of stuff. And he said, listen, it would be our best benefit to work together for the family's sake or whatever. And they kind of, I don't know, they kind of agreed to it or whatever. It wasn't nothing to this conversation right here. So then we go and we see Anna. So Anna calls Valentine. He's still not answering. Then she knocks on somebody's door and we find out it's Dante and Sam. So she goes in and Sam says, excuse me, I think I have found the culprit behind Luke's killing, the reason why, his murder or whatever. And so Anna's like, what's going on? And she says, okay, there's this Lord that somebody posted about this diamond being sold, and the post is like the princess cut diamond. And Anna was like, oh, that's it. So now they're like, okay, there is going to be an auction. And they're like, okay, we got to get in this auction because this is what's, it could lead us to the information on whoever has this diamond, because they said that was Luke's prized possession. He would not have let that go. And then they know that Tracy had the fake one, so somebody stole that diamond from Luke, and he thought he had the real one. He had the fake one. Okay, but anyways, so they're trying to get into this auction, and Anna's like, oh well, Duke left me a little money, and I guess it's a nice sum of money because she put it up. She put it in crypto, and she was able to offer it up, and they were allowed into the auction. So now Anna's about to go out of the country to this auction. So that's the whole thing with her and Sam. They're gonna get together. Her, Sam, and Dante. They're gonna get together later on and come up with how they're gonna do this. So then Anna leaves, and she calls Valentine again, and she's like, sir, where are you? I'm starting to get worried because I have not heard anything from you. Now, over in another country is this woman named Jennifer, and she's telling her husband, yeah, we're going to sell this diamond because we're going to join this auction, excuse me, because it's the best thing for us, and that diamond belongs to me. It was my late husband's, and everything. It was, it was precious, and it's for me, I mean us, because she's the one that Miss Wu told Sonny about, that they're making moves on the West Coast, because she says, and we've made all these moves on the West Coast, and once we get this diamond, we're going to solidify ourselves, and then we're going to go to the East Coast and strike at the heart of Port Charles. I'm like, okay. So then she asking for a drink, and this man said, "Get the lady whatever she wants on me." And the man is in a sailor's outfit, and it's Valentine. And I said, "Oh, okay, I'm done." But that was Fort Charles today. Excuse me, that was General Hospital today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow for another episode.